What is up? Welcome to the first episode of Hot Topic with Copville and the villain, Dominic Izzo, with his Christmas sweater on. You look very nice.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You like the intro?
I actually did. I missed
You're all
it.
jacked
No.
on there. You missed it.
Am I really?
God,
I
yeah,
got-
dude.
I got-
You gotta watch it. But watch it back. That was I wanted you to look like
I am jacked. It is what it is.
you are jacked. You look
I know
great.
I am.
So
Fine.
So we appreciate everybody tuning in. We are going to do every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, except the next 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks is holidays. We got Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve. We will be back after the first of the year. I believe the 7th?
Yep.
7th of January will be the next episode for this. I'll be on a cruise next week anyway, so New Year's Eve, I believe.
You'll be on those cruises with all the.
I'm not an
with all
Ultima
the ghetto
cruiser.
people.
I'm not an
That'll
Ultima
be out
cruiser.
there doing
no.
What do they do? They want it's the
Wait,
what do they
wait,
call
wait.
them? The fried chicken watermelon people?
You can't say.
Oh, I can say anything I want. I don't give a shit.
So just so everybody knows, if they don't know Dominic Izzo, you're going to get raw, uncut data. We'll call it data.
Pattern recognition data.
I go on what's called MSC Cruise Line, and I pay a little extra. I get casino comps, and I actually we stay in an area called the Yacht Club, and when you leave the Yacht Club, they call the rest of the ship Gen Pop because it's general population. You have to have a special wristband, and I don't say that because I'm pretentious. I just, like you said, I like to enjoy my time. I spend a lot of money, worked a lot of years to get to the point where I can take a vacation, and I go on the little exclusive part of the.
I respect you for the cruise. I can't do the cruise. I don't fly.
Really?
I don't go on boats because I'm terrified of being 30,000 feet up. You have no idea what's underneath
Yeah,
you. Well,
I
you
know.
know, and then being on the ocean, you have no idea what's fucking underneath you.
The ocean's scary, and being a boat is scary. But
Yep.
let's get to the ones that were live. Copple dropped a banger today. Thank you. Good afternoon. That's you.
That's me.
Thank you. Awesome. So next question. I think they're already talking about stuff. We have a super chat from Liz to New Beginnings. Thank you so much, Liz. We appreciate it. Let's go back. For the people that don't know how Dom and I met, I'm gonna go through it real quick, little recap. I used to hear two annoying voices come out of my wife's phone a lot. One was Haley Mirabelli, and one was Dominic Izzo. And I was like, "Who's this fucking guy?" Just
Both from the same.
some from the
Both the same
place.
area.
They're besties up in Chicago, and I reached out to Dom, and he has a lot of haters and a lot of people that don't like him. If you guys don't know that, and he thought I was one of those meme pages that shit on him, and I was like, "Nah, dog, this is who I am," and we kind of become very, very good friends since then.
Yeah, loyalty goes a long way, and you guys have undyingly earned mine, and because you've proven yours. And yeah, that was the whole thing. Was like I was at that stage where it's again like for anybody who doesn't know my story, I was fired as a cop, but then everybody leaves out. I was fully reinstated, and then I retired. And I had some troll again, which I vow every day stay out of the comment section, and I'm doing a lot better than I normally do because those people are they're literally beneath me, and I don't give a shit anymore. But I had somebody posted up on talking about DUIs and cops. If you come across a cop with a DUI, do you let him go, this and that? And I said, anybody who lets a cop go, this is DUI. It's just as dirty as the cop who drank and drove. And I had a bunch of people agree with me. Then it's always the anonymous ones. Always is some fake. It's like a pickup truck for a profile picture.
Yes. Yeah.
Didn't you get fired for cause? And I wanted to go, yeah, for being public and exposing my department, then getting caught under the department policy that I violated, that I was fired for, that 3 years later that cost me everything. I was reinstated, paid an exorbitant sum of money, and then retired. What did you do aside from comment on my shit anonymously? But I don't do it anymore because it's like, it serves no purpose. It absolutely serves no purpose.
And the other thing that I think is, and it kind of drives me crazy, is because you get shit on in that nobody else would. They like to call you like you're a small town cop. You worked outside of Chicago, and that is not a small town area. Your agency was a little smaller, but no cop will ever say that about themselves or anybody they like. That is one they'll throw at somebody when they have really nothing else to throw at anybody.
It pisses me off because all the people I know that worked with me, they hump every fucking day of the week. And you take like, it's Phoenix, Illinois. Phoenix, Illinois is a south suburb of Chicago. Everybody knows of Dalton because of that Mayor Tiffany, whatever her name is. You get South Holland, Phoenix, Illinois, Robbins. I think Phoenix, Illinois is a population of 1,100 people. Go ahead and go walk the streets of Phoenix, Illinois that borders the south side of Chicago at night. Oh, you're a small town cop. It's like, no, I was up in Lake County that we got all the shit between Chicago and Milwaukee. And I stopped it stopped getting me pissed off where I'm like, I know what I did. And everybody who works with me knows what they did and the guys who are still working there. But 80% of the cops in America are small town cops. And but I had posted up something yesterday. You had like 20 Chicago police officers all showed up on scene to take one guy into custody, and 18 of the cops stood around with their hands in their pockets. And I'm like, that's what big city cops are right there and there.
Yeah.
So I hate that argument because it shits on the 80% plus of cops who are in America who actually hump every day of the week, but are small town cops.
Yeah. And if I went on there in Copville and I started shitting on small town cops, most of my followers, a lot of them are small town cops. So it would be completely taken against me. They'd be like, hey, what are you shitting on us for? We make up 80% of the fucking country. So that's funny that if we go down with it, people are going to be offended, but then that's all the other people have to throw at you. I want to put this comment back up. Please re-ask the question. I didn't go back far enough. So if you guys if you want to get that question in here and let us know what that was. We got Steve in here.
Steve,
all these big city PDs are trying to cut funny. Yeah. And it's like, all those agencies like outside of Atlanta, like, Jordan Ennis, my former co-host, works at Sandy Springs. That's not a huge agency, but they're fucking dealing with the fucking drug and the crime of Atlanta. So it's like you would call him a small town. He would be a small town cop. He has.
Where do these people think that the fucking element goes? Where does the element go? It's like and I didn't understand it. Like I sat there and I tell the story all the time where I filled out my application and I was an anomaly. From the day I dropped off my application till the day I was in the academy was 4 weeks. It's a first test ever. First test ever. And everyone's like, oh my God, it's taken me 7 years to become a cop. I'm like, oh, anyways. So my chief comes out of my graduation in 01 and he goes, congratulations. You'll do more in your first 6 months than most guys will do in 10 years. And I'm like, what? And it was the Wild West where we were at. Yeah. It was a ton of fucking little shit gang members, Sereno 13s and Latin Kings. And we had an El Rucan. I think we had the last El Rucan in America in our town. And we had the biker gangs, the outlaws, this and that. And I never shit on the other cops who were like, they didn't have as much volume because I'm like, it's a lot of paperwork. Yeah, it's not like CPD. You put cuffs on somebody, paddy wagon takes them, somebody does the booking and the processing. If we have a minimum of a midnights and it's 3 guys on and I get we used to get pissed off at our one guy, Paul. He would be the early car. And at 11:29 p.m. he'd log on and then you'd hear him call out at 10:38 doing fields. And we're like, oh my God, he gets a DUI.
He's going right to the jail.
And then we're down to 2. We're down to 2 for 3 hours.
Yeah.
So everyone's like, oh, the small town cops. It's like, no, we're the evidence techs. We're the juvenile officers. Yeah. It's a pain in the ass.
When I worked my first job, Vero Beach, which is a small town cop, we did our own intoxilizer. We did the whole thing at the jail. When I became a deputy, you just jumped them off the jail and they did the intoxilizer. They did all that stuff for you. So you're right. A small town cop, you can say what you want, but you guys you don't have some big crime scene unit to roll in. You don't have some big, all that fancy stuff, big helicopters and all that. You guys are on the ground doing the stuff yourself. So here was the question. What gear should be carried for plainclothes officers, less lethal options, vest? You know how I feel about the vest. And I don't agree with the old school plainclothes, church clothes, out in the field, interviewing homicide suspects, going to the hood and pulling video in a suit and tie. I think there's a place for that, maybe a death notification, court, but I think cops should be every call. We're seeing it more and more. My opinion is everybody should be wearing a vest, a gun, handcuffs, and prepared to go hands on at all times. That's my opinion.
I don't know. I think I wanted to mix the military look, the paramilitary look, and the professional look. So like I was big on in the wintertime, I always wore a tie, but I wore my outside vest carrier cover. And I tried to be as fully tactical as possible without being overly intimidating, so I had 2 spare magazines, a flashlight, a baton I never used, 3 pairs of cuffs, OC, I never used a taser. No, taser was, yeah, I did have the taser. Holy shit, I hated it. Never used, and I carried 2 pistols, one on a drop holster on my right leg, and then I had one on my ankle. But it's like, outside of that, these guys today with the scissors and the everything's mollied up, and it's like you're so front heavy. I'm like, holy shit, what is this stuff,
It's
man?
gotten crazy, and I see like batons where the gun can't be drawn, magazines flush against. I mean, you see my page. I point it out all the time, and I posted one. Yeah, I'm gonna say who. I posted one the other day, and I made fun of the size of the guys' heads, and they weren't wearing vests. That's actually they're friends of a good friend of ours, Carl Anderson. So Carl texts me. And he goes, "They have a bet going which guy's head you were making fun of that's bigger because they actually get called that." But I get a lot of flack and a lot of people. I call a lot of agencies out. And Tyler said something real interesting the other day, and I think it's very true. And I think it goes for you as well. And I know how you have everybody on. You'll sit and talk to anybody. If one of those agencies, and I'm calling out, if their administration ever grabbed their dick and said, we're going to go on and talk to this guy, they would be the new heroes of law enforcement to all the people out on the street. If they actually sat down and we debated like adults, and maybe they presented some points to me and shut me up, or maybe we disagreed, but we had a good conversation about why I say what I do and why they do what they do, that agency would immediately be a place where everybody go, fuck, they're going to talk to these guys. I'm going to work there.
You mean transparency?
Yeah.
You mean,
yeah. Transparent, not hiding your comments, not turning comments off, and if you saw the thumbnail for tonight, it said TikTok cops' worst nightmares is you and I together. But yes, that's, I think that would be what type of training classes should be taken. Persuasion Academy. What do you think?
Sales classes, 100%.
Yeah, interpersonal.
There is a very big lack of communication. People, and it's a generational thing. It's a generational thing of people who grew up on the damn phones with no social cues. People do not know how to talk to people. You've got a great video up that I sat there and I put up on my Instagram where you were talking to a woman about trespassing. And that's a sales masterclass. You can hear tonality, you can hear the change of inflection in the dialect of the voice, the compassion with mixed in authoritativeness. I'm like, this is a lost skill. People do not have this. They need to send more cops, and it's not a joke, to sales training, like car salesmen, or even friggin' like network marketing, or even or stand-up comedians as well too. You need to listen to how. Forget what his past is, but Bill Cosby and like Brian Regan, they are master storytellers. That is what needs to be brought. You need to have more cops who are able to tell a story, and they just don't have it.
And I think obviously in the way you just explained that, if people would take that and clip that and let that be something you say that they stand on, instead of obviously you go off on some rants about females and use of force, and you have very strong opinions, but what you just said is very accurate, and you won't get credit for saying that, because I agree with you. The lost art is we have gone to a generation that is tech dependent. They don't get out of their car. They can do all the training from a laptop. They don't talk to anybody. You can almost, if you didn't have to get out, you could almost do a drive-through policing. You could just drive up, pull up. What did you have? Type it up. See ya. And FTOs are teaching kids that stuff now, that everything's done on a computer, powered DMS. We lost the ability we lost the drive and the mindset to get out, like you said, and talk to people. The reason I became such a successful cop in the narcotics field, and the reasons people still talk to me today, I got a text from a black dude I chased around my whole career, hood as shit. He said, "Dill's my dog. I love you, man. I love what you're doing." And I've known this guy for 30 years. I arrested him because I can fucking talk to him, and I know how to interact with him. And I learned that, and that's how I got successful in my career, working informants and solving cases.
I got to touch on that use of force, because every time we put a clip up of me, and it's for sensationalism, right? I know that's what we do, right? We want clips of me making sound bites that actually create
people don't understand
narrative.
that this is entertainment.
People think that I'm anti-use of force, when it couldn't be further from the truth. I love violence. I fucking love violence. I teach violence. That's my biggest passion, aside from kind of increasing the professionals in law enforcement. And it's always been my stance. If we have cops who take the most professional approach to everything they do, study the Constitution, know their laws, all this, it's just like the concept of training. The more intense you train, you're going to fall back on a better successful level, right? So it's like if you're shooting free throws like Jordan did every single day, the percentage of what you miss is going to be less and less and less over time. So if we apply that to law enforcement, and cops actually knew the First Amendment, Fourth Amendment, knew how to talk to people when it comes to, and they trained properly for violence, when they use it, that violence will be swift.
Correct.
It will be absolutely decisive and the easiest possible to defend.
Correct.
That is my biggest position. I'm for shooting people when they need to be shot. I am for bouncing heads off of squad cars when it needs to be done. I'm for cranking somebody up, arms behind their back, and if a shoulder pops out of place, I don't care. I'm for kneeling on them, not for 9 minutes, when it's required. The problem is everybody trains so infrequently, so shitty, they're so uneducated that not only we know the use of force looks like garbage, but now it looks like garbage served just in a pool of garbage, and you can't distinguish anything else. If you had the cleanest palace in the world, you could justify that pile of dog shit on the floor by going, look at the rest of the place. The rest of the place is pristine. We forgot to let the dog out. So that's my position. I love violence, and I think it's necessary.
I'm the same way. And younger, I'm sure you were like I was before the body cam. It was what it was. But as you learn to be more savvy, and like you say, when it's time to fight like it's the last fight you're ever going to be in. Use as much violence as possible to gain control. But when it's not time to fight, or you could avoid it by using other skills and having some type of personality. And where I go crazy is use of force, and all those videos are the coolest ones because somebody's getting beat up. There's a huge debate. My problem is what you said about the other stuff, the Constitution, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. That's where a guy like Sean Paul Reyes comes in that just completely highlights the massive failure that cops do not know the basic Constitution, not the fucking 30th Amendment or when this was signed and when that was ratified. They don't understand free fucking speech. And that is a huge problem that leads to what? Use of force, Fourth Amendment violations, lawsuits.
All the way to somebody's death.
Yes, all the way to somebody's death. And the fact that people get mad at him, because I'll go comment on Sean's stuff and I'll say, this guy's an idiot, this guy. And I get guys from in the meme page where, how the fuck do you support this guy? I'm like, how do you not? How do you support that cop that doesn't understand that a guy's allowed to stand on the sidewalk? Like, you're telling me a guy on the sidewalk with a camera is a threat, or you got to move him, or you got and then it gets in a pissing match, and then it turns into a use of force. And how many times has Sean Paul been manhandled illegally?
Quite a few.
And then they won't do anything about it. They won't do anything about it. I watched him in Louisiana get thrown out of the fucking the warden of a jail shoved him multiple times illegally, threw him out. He went to the sheriff's office, tried to file a report, and they closed the door and locked in and said, leave. Like, they wouldn't even listen to him.
I don't know what it's going to take. Somebody, and I have to look at this story. Well, I think it was somebody down by you. Some cop was arrested off duty, fleeing and eluding.
Yeah, that was up north. Yep.
Okay.
Just about an hour from here.
All charges were dropped on him.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't know the circumstances for that. You could write, like, literally, people don't understand. The definition of something is not the definition of it, right? So, like, if I put somebody in handcuffs and they turn around and they start fighting me, they are resisting. If I go to put somebody in handcuffs and they pull forward ever so slightly, they are resisting. It's a very, very, very big subjective term. So when we say fleeing and eluding, that cop could have driven 3 blocks without seeing the lights and sirens behind him, and he still could be arrested for fleeing and eluding by not even speeding, completely obeying the laws, just going, oh, hey, I had the music playing, I didn't see you. So I don't know what the circumstance is, but if he truly did flee and elude and he's being let off, I do not know what can be done to hold cops accountable that is not going to outrage citizens, that it's someday American citizens are going to say, we're fucking done. And they're going to start exercising the Second Amendment to keep themselves protected.
Yeah. I mean, I know obviously you get a billion messages like I do. And I got one. Carmen Marcino is the Lee County Sheriff. He's probably one of the biggest crooks on earth. Your favorite TikToker. And I got a story from him, and the guy can't talk about it because he's still in legal. But it was cop pulled over for DUI, drunk, fails every test, belligerent, nasty. Put him in the car, get ready to leave. Because it's a cop, somebody calls like a commander and says, hey, we got so-and-so, whatever his name is, Deputy Jones in the car. They're like, don't leave. Don't leave with him. And they're like, And then they go and they pulled away. So they said, call him back. So they called the deputy back. one of the commanders, one of Lee County's guys, Morcino's guys, gets on the phone and says, I think he's sick. They're like, no, he's drunk, belligerent, and like belligerently fucking annihilated. They're like, no, he's sick. You're gonna take him home because he doesn't feel well. And they got a direct order, and that's where it comes down to like your job and the Constitution and what Steve says. Do we have a duty to act? Should we? They let him go, and that person that found out, like a captain found out, they let him go, and he went and filed a complaint, and it's still pending. But that's the kind of stuff that goes on in law enforcement. And again, why would citizens not be outraged? Because there's not a fucking citizen on earth that's not a politician, a cop, or somebody very, very important that will ever get that opportunity break, or even if they do something far less. Like kind of what I put it out today. My sheriff's on the hook for like $5,000 in illegal spending in a week, and everybody goes, well, it's only $5,000. It's like, you ever been to a grand theft where you go, hey, Walmart, I'm sorry, this dude only stole
$5,000. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna let it slide. Right? Like, that's insane.
Yeah. I don't understand the whole police accountability thing. And I didn't like, the one thing that we talk about this, and it's a phrase, right? You can call me anything you want, but can't you call me a liar?
We both
I don't lie, right? That's our thing. And it's always been a massive integrity thing where I discovered the power, and somebody comes up and says, hey, you did X, Y, and Z. And I go, yeah. Hey, you cheated on me. Yeah, I did. You might as well get it over with. So it's like the whole concept of lying about shit to cover your ass as a cop has always blown me away. I don't get how cops are still doing shit, trying to cover it up.
It's getting worse. It's not getting better. It's not getting better.
Dude, go through your content, all your content and my content, right? Just and let's talk about even before your first account got nuked, right? 300,000 followers. If you take that and you go through all the individuals that we highlight and feature, how can anyone say it's a few bad apples?
It's
how?
Yeah.
It's
a new one every day. It's a new one every single day. Like the girl that we just talked about today and yesterday. Brand new account, first post, viral, dancing around in uniform, and it just sets the precedent. And then it continues and continues and continues. And it's just, and I know you've gotten into some administrations and got some ears and got some things done. And
I don't enjoy it.
You're right though, because I have been, and that's where they don't think, because they don't think ahead. I have been on the stand January of 2024 when I had my entire off-duty life drug into court for a 2-3 hour hearing about everything I did, where I went, strip clubs I went to. It is not fun to be on the other end of that. And it sounds cute in the car when you're dancing around and saying you didn't get cracked last night and all those things. And it looks cool. It's cool. We both admit, I was a TikTok cop. You said you'd be a fucking maniac on TikTok if it was around back then. So we both understand the mental disaster it's creating for these people to get this false sense. But we're as old dogs now. We go, I'm really trying to help you because you're going to be there one day. And it's too late when you go, man, them fucking guys, as you're walking off the stand, got annihilated or sued or something, and you go, man, those guys were right. That's the wrong time to find out we're right.
My thing was like morality. I started to I remember having a 3-ring binder back in 2003, and I started to keep all my arrests in a 3-ring binder, and it's like this thick after 2 years. And I'm like, because we had, if I worked 5 on 2 off 8-hour shifts in my first apartment, and we'd have minimum 3 arrests a week. Minimum. I mean, you're talking about retail thefts, traffic stops, domestic. Everything was a fucking domestic. The gang shit. But the more that I got older, I started to sit there and have a value on the concept of discretion. Because I'm not gonna lie, man, I fucking loved it. You put somebody in handcuffs, it's power, and they were just a stat. It's a stat. But the more I matured, if you will, I started looking, shit, I have the power to not ruin someone's fucking life. And I think when it would have been worse for me if TikTok was a thing when I was a cop, because it would have been reinforced, right? So I would have gone online, I would have talked about, I would have mocked people, I'll do all the skits everybody else does. And then to create more content, I would have, fucked somebody over by something stupid, right? Like when Super Troopers was out when I was a cop, and we tried to do that shit, the meow game and crap, and people knew what we were doing, but we didn't fucking care. So if I was goofing around like that at somebody's expense on a traffic stop, joking around with them, where if I didn't take it seriously and the driver maybe said, "Excuse me, officer, what are you doing? Are you professional?" And that would have changed my state to go, "Give me your fucking license."
Yeah.
If I would have elevated it back then, what would social media have done to fuel my ego to be more of a dick on scene to ruin more fucking lives? It's horrible.
I lived it and I did it. And, like we talk about transparency, you can't come at me if I tell you everything I ever did. And I did TikTok, and I was going through a divorce, and I was going through hell. And I can tell you from experience, like if it's like I look at, like, you got admin that never did the street job, but their boss is telling you how to be a cop. It's no different than I did it. I know the mental illness I had when I was getting fueled by Snapchat and pictures and videos and all the messages and all the garbage that every man enjoys. But what did it do? It took my focus from the job, and it was just like being an alcoholic or a drug addict. I was completely addicted to what was going on TikTok. How many views did it get? How many follows do I get? How am I at? And it put me in a very dangerous situation to not be focused on the job. I was only on it for about 4 months, and then I got thrown in the Daily Mail and all over the fucking international news. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, that was good. That was a great thing, because I probably still, me and you would not, would not be friends. You would be making videos about me, and I'd be justifying it still.
The girl yesterday that we're talking about, she creates she specifically created an Instagram account to post her first video of that first day of becoming a cop. I can't imagine what somebody's like, where they're counting the days to walk across the stage, get their diploma, take their picture, and then go start a YouTube channel or TikTok channel. Yeah, unbelievable.
I watched a girl do it, and I cooked her bad. She was local. I think we ran in, me and you posted her once. Her name was, like, I don't want to say her name. She actually apologized.
Why not?
Because she made it right. She made it right. She deleted it.
I had 3 or 4 of them do it, and I ate shit.
So she did it. I cooked her. She did it again. I cooked her. And then it made to admin, and then she deleted it. And then I cooked her again when she worked at the same agency of the guy that I posted that was in the gun shop with his civilian clothes and his gun belt on and his uniform to get a discount on a gun. And I kind of lumped her into that post, and she DM'd me, or she messaged me. She's like, "Hey dude," she's like, "You fucked me up good. Like, I caught hell. I deleted it. I'm back to focused." And I said, "You know what? You're right. Like, I'm done." Like, and like, that is something that comes of it. Now you're going to get like that cop of milk dude. I mean, that motherfucking guy.
Well, that's just,
I don't get it. He had to remove all this is how I know he's psycho, because what he said to me was, when they got reported, and I didn't do it. People,
was this recently?
Yeah, it was a cop of milk. He's in the car he's in, like, Boulder, Colorado. Right. It's like 89% white. He's never seen a Nissan Altima in his life. He has no clue he's no clue what fucking police work is. And everybody started
smells like weed when you walk. You're 10 feet from it.
Yeah, somebody very close to him that knows him very well gave me some very detailed information about him. But I held it. We went back and forth in the DMs, and when he said this, they made him delete it. He said, "I'll be back out of uniform posting with sponsors." That's when I knew he was mentally ill. All he cared about was attention on the internet. And I'm laughing because it's not going to grow. It's not going to grow because you're without the uniform.
No, because you're out of uniform. Yeah, did he take all of his cop stuff down?
Had to. Yep. Cop.
Wow.
All it's gone. He came back online, and now he's going to try to do it, like, with the no patches.
That's something, and that's how it started. The whole evolution of social media, which blows me away, is right around 2014, 2015. It was Facebook was the exclusive site, right? I had 100,000 followers on an Officer Dominic Izzo page, and it was Tommy Norman, Mike the Cop, Officer Daniels, Woodard, Brian Woodard, and a few else. And we were just doing commentary in law. Well, Daniels and Mike the Cop did their comedy stuff, but it got to a point where, we had social media policies out where the next thing you know, I cannot even wear a shirt that says police on it, according to my policy. And now you fast forward, Tommy Norman went through the same exact thing. And you fast forward, now all of a sudden it was an East Coast department. I think it was out of Connecticut. Their officers were so pissed about having a policy restricting them from being on social media. They took it to their state Supreme Court, and they won where it was a violation of their freedom of speech. As long as you can't identify where they're at, then you could put up their shit. So now you have cops where they put stickers over their badges and patches. And we find, we have a mutual ally who is probably the biggest investigator on the planet for that shit. But I can't believe that people would go so far that their word means nothing unless they have a badge on in a squad car.
Yeah, and that's why I was so disappointed in myself, because I had a very productive and very good career up until that point, and that kind of tarnished it a little. And I take responsibility, and then I went back to doing police work and SWAT, and got promoted and demoted. But I was very disappointed in myself, and I still am. Obviously, like you, the go-to is whatever they have on you, that your sex messages and all that garbage they throw in your face. They throw my TikTok. It's like as soon as I get in an argument with the first guy, they Google my name, and then I get a picture of my TikTok. I'm like, okay, episode 12 on this show, episode 3 on that show, my own show. You can go find it. I'll post it. I was like, actually, I got more videos. You want me to send them to you? I'll post them as well. And then I got demoted, and I'm like, yep. Unlike most cops who get demoted for some fucking wild bullshit crime, I got demoted for actually arresting somebody and targeted. So it's like, you got me there. I was investigated by the FBI and DA. Yep. Didn't get indicted. Like, pretty hard not to get indicted by the feds if they really want to get you. So it's like all these little things. And then when they come to the end of it, I'm like, now what? Let's talk about you.
And none of
Let's
that.
talk about
They
you.
won't. They do not. They do not. And that's why it's like I went from, you playing in the shit all the time with the comment section to realizing that I am better than every fucking cop troll who's in my shit, who doesn't have the balls to say, I'm officer so-and-so with this department. This is you. It's like, motherfucker, all of my shit is out there.
Yeah.
All of it.
Yep.
But who are you? So it's like, we don't have an integrity, police force of integrity in America right now.
No. And like you said, Facebook is more people with brains. YouTube is pretty.
No,
decent.
YouTube. No, it's
Yeah.
YouTube. YouTube.
yeah.
Facebook has still got some real big shitheads. Facebook and Instagram. YouTube.
But you really need to use your real name on Facebook, though. Like most of the time, it's no people. I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
On Facebook, most people signed up so long ago that it's a pain. I mean, there's troll accounts, but it's a little more difficult. Like, I have fucking like 9 accounts on my Instagram, but Facebook is normally. But yeah, YouTube gets some really good feedback. Usually,
YouTube's unbelievably. I think I've learned more from
Instagram
the YouTube
is like,
comment section.
Instagram is like a fucking back alley. Fucking just everybody hurls insults, and like you said, there's no accountability. It's like,
no, YouTube is full of the commenters that equal the mission, right? You got Facebook and Instagram are the black and white. All cops are bastards, or you lick the boots no matter what.
Yeah.
YouTube is the whole no, Constitution first. We want cops who obey that. They're not, for the most part, they're not get rid of all cops. They do not support police until police show that they support the Constitution. That I'm like, no, that's the audience I can get behind right there.
YouTube is just a weird area for me, is because I guess I'm just a hater. I can't stand the guys that just clip other people's content and have massive fucking pages. Like, there's no original content. There's nothing. I mean, you every week, dude. What, Friday night at 7, 8 is your show?
Oh yeah, I'm a Friday night at 7 p.m. Central. Yeah.
So every fucking week, you're prepared. You're dressed in the suit. You're fucking taking calls. You're doing the job. And then you have people that just go around and they spend. I guess it's a hustle, man. I guess I can't be mad if you're selling Girl Scout cookies in front of the store and you're making money. But it's like there's no originality to it. It's just, you get clipped all the time. I get clipped all the time. We get blasted everywhere, and it's like,
keep doing it. Keep
I
doing
mean,
it.
Yeah, I mean, I know it helps us, but it's I don't know. That's the only thing I can't kind of pisses me off about YouTube, is like, you don't even have to be any talent. You just clip everybody else's stuff, get the following, but like you said, any press is good press, and anytime anybody's talking about us,
you could
is
be
always good.
Brandon Tatum.
Yeah, you flipped my mind about a lot of people. Yeah, you flipped. I mean, I guess I'm kind of one of those, like, I guess before I got the page and I kind of dug into podcasting, I was very naive and I took everything at face value. And then when you start looking and you're like, this dude doesn't even make sense sometimes. He just talks. It just talks and talks.
No.
And it's like, where's it? And I know his history. Somebody actually that worked with him sent me his whole resume, like 8-year cop,
6 years or something.
6, 7, 8 years, a little bit of street. He was on like a set tag team for a year, like basic fucking most cop in America. Like, that's an average cop, but he's
look
black.
at Donut
black,
Operator.
right?
Was he
He's
3 years? Donut Operator's got a huge platform.
He's gonna follow me one day. I know it. He likes my shit all the time. He shares my reposts my stuff every now and then, but He hasn't followed me yet, but yeah, he's what, 700,000 people. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
huge.
yeah. There you go. That's
But
what it
he's
is.
more. He doesn't really use the badge though. Like he's more
No.
just a person.
Commentary.
I don't. Yeah, commentary, and he like. So I respect it. But what is the update with the Texas guy?
Which one?
The black dude from Texas. He sent me that he wanted to talk to you. Remember?
Oh, I haven't reached out to him yet. It's like I'm gonna let him come on.
That.
I'm gonna let him come on and say,
I would love to be there
explain how this content is beneficial towards the citizens of the town.
Him and Hawk Gorilla are like
besties. Yep.
Besties.
Him and that other, the shorter Hispanic guy too.
Yes, from out there. And I talk to people from Irmo PD. We'll talk about small town. Irmo PD, tiny, right outside of Charleston, South Carolina, I think. And they actually show Hawk Gorilla at the local academy as an example of a good cop and how you should behave as a cop and what you should do. They show him. I've talked to people.
What's the example?
I don't know.
Everything he does is I can picture, like, if he extends the compassion, what he puts in his skits on the streets, awesome. Great. Go up and do that. But it's kind of like it's the whole concept of those influencers that go around and they have millions of dollars and they give like a homeless guy $1,000 here, $1,000 there. It's like, okay, but you got to show yourself doing that. Okay, I understand that. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's like if Hawk Gorilla needs the pat on the back for doing a good job, then are you really doing it for? And I'm a narcissist. I know I am. So it's like I understand the whole wanting your ego fed, but when your job is that much more focused on social media than it is doing a job, I got a problem with that.
Yeah. Well,
because this is, and I don't mean to cut you off.
Okay,
this was my ultimate statement. Like Tommy Norman is the example. Now, I'm a huge Officer Tommy Norman fan. He just retired. And I used to have a problem with a concept, meaning Tommy Norman spent 90% of the time you'd see Tommy Norman in his uniform dealing with some of the poorest, most destitute black culture in, I think he was in Arkansas. And you would just see him at the worst and just buying them things, buying them lunch, buying them gifts, this and that. And my viewpoint was, okay, because that's genuinely him. That's who, he's not a hypocrite. That is who he is. But what if I work there? And that's not my style, right? My style is I buy the book, X, Y, and Z, black and white. And what happens the day that Tommy Norman is off and I get a call to the area that he's patrolling and they all know him? Because you know how it goes, right? You pull somebody over that knows one of your coworkers. Well, I know Officer so-and-so. What are you going to do when a black kid comes out and there's a fight in progress, gunshots, this and that? Oh, no, I know Officer Norman. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. No, Officer Norman does this. And all of a sudden it's a problem. So the problem I have with social media is that these cops are creating that's the standard across the board. And you're going to treat that way everybody. Unless everybody's going to do it, you shouldn't be representing your agency at all.
Yeah. I mean, and that creates a problem. And what I also agree is that this humanizing the badge thing, it creates a false expectation of the public because you're right. Like that guy dancing around and humanizing the badge, you might have to get punched in the face. And it's like, oh, I didn't think that was coming. Or, that guy showed up and he was mean. And well, yeah, because that's what this call required. We're not all dancing around. And in some places, it's absolutely. I mean, the ones I post, like Philadelphia, fucking sheriff's office, they got the lady can't even speak English. I don't know what language she's speaking. Some real bad dialect of Ebonics. You got DeKalb County, Georgia. She almost got the chief of police job down here in a neighboring town. All they're doing is dancing. Those two girls.
Oh, the pink uniforms,
yeah. The two girls we always post that every morning they get together and talk about their fit check.
Atlanta, Georgia. Georgia.
On earth for crime, like earth. And you got
they're in the special victims unit. Hey, officers, have you solved my 6-year-old daughter's rape case yet? No, we're about to do. This is what I wore today for work. I got my what are they? Whatever fucking shoes. Oh shit! I got
Louboutins and all that. I got my Louboutin shoes.
Bag.
Yeah, I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I know you get it, and I get it too. It's like the cops of America are frustrated, but where you and I we don't differ. You're putting a lot more on them where you finally said, fuck it. If you're not willing to talk about it, like I can't help you anymore. Like you expect cops to go, if you're not angry about it in your own agency, and I'm getting there. I'm trending behind you where I used to really entertain a lot of that. I'm like, I got it, man. I'll post the picture, but Are you going to go tell this guy that? Are you going to
I
tell your
have
chief he's all fucked up? Are you going to say it?
hundreds. I have hundreds of unread messages in all of my platforms, like all my emails, my DMs, my message requests. And when I do go through them, it's, hey, brother, you got to check out this and check out this, check out this. And my first thing is donate. This is fucking time and money, because now this is full time for me. It's a full time process, spending all day in front of that damn computer on the phone. No, they all want shit for free. Then they want me to expose stuff, and they're not willing to do anything. So wait a second. It was good enough.
My phone, and it's just nothing but nothing. But I mean, that's since we've been on the phone. I mean, on the show.
Unbelievable crap where it's. So you want me to expose your shit, but then I expose the shit in my department. Every one of my brethren disappeared like Homer Simpson's in the bushes. I got fired. I lost everything, where I lived, girlfriend, income, all that crap. And then because I was successful enough and did 3 years to fight back for it, to getting it, I went through that. Are you willing to do that? Well, you go, I can't, brother. Then it's not. Then it's never going to change.
And we have Patreon for the Anti-Hero broadcast. We have a Patreon. We have a very loyal crew in there, and I started one for my own page, and then I kind of got lazy, and obviously buying into Anti-Hero and owning half that company. And now, I mean, I drive 2 hours twice a week each way. I'm there tomorrow from 10 a.m. to midnight and drive back home. So it's a full time. It's hard, but yeah. And it's like I built my platform. The first one was more of like, when I got the massive following first time, that was more of a clown show. Then I realized it was a business, and then I obviously rebranded, business, Instagram, website, sales, sponsors. But it is to the point that, I just like you, I get hundreds and hundreds of messages a day and TikTok videos and all that. It is consuming. And every now and then you're just like me. One will get on, and then that's it. I'm in that fucking TikTok for 3 hours making clips, but it's work. I mean, we're both retired. We both don't have any other jobs. Like, it becomes a job to do what we do. And it sounds very stupid to say that to the average person. Like, Instagram's a job. It's fucking mind boggling to get in the car or get on this show and know I have like 50 to 70 messages unread when I get back off this.
It is work. It is a ton of work.
Yes.
I originally was kind of reviewing body camera footage. Then all of a sudden it was, holy shit, we do have a massive epidemic. And I started to notice, I was talking with Rachel about this a couple of weeks ago, where it was the kid who just got fired from Aberdeen, the black kid with the chin beard and this. And it's, I looked in the newspaper, or their local newspaper referenced Cop Talk Live was the media site that exposed his videos. I'm like, okay, rewind it to the Indiana, Knightstown, and Middleton thing, where they got the same chief. The mayor of Middletown, flat out brought me up at a meeting. Goes, and this Dominic Izzo exposes cops every other week. So, and I guess a citizen asked him, well, was he lying about this one? So the second I see that my name is brought up in media, I was on the news for that. For the South Carolina black girl who was dancing around to black music and shit. They interviewed me on that because she was disciplined. I'm like, I need to take this more seriously because we're making an impact. I take no pride in this. I've gotten 9 cops to be either fired or rethink their career path and leave. And that's shit. I guess we're doing something right.
And for the anybody's not a cop, or anybody who's living in Fantasyland as a cop, to hear that probably thinks, what a cocksucker. I hear that and go, you just saved 9 lives. You just saved 9 lives, and maybe triple that for the people that they had to back up. Correct. And citizens that they might have come into contact with. Because if everybody walked around a sheriff's office or a police department and said what they said, there'd be 100 individual dudes, because none of them fucking like each other. None of them can stand each other. None of them hate that the one dude blows reports, or this guy does too many traffic, or that guy goes to the jail too much, or he does too many DUIs, or that dude's a piece of shit. They're all fucking enemies, but they put that thin blue line nonsense and all that stuff, and nobody speaks the truth. And where I'm frustrated, obviously, I dropped that massive episode today that I've exposed absolute criminal behavior. I can't even get the news. I've been in contact with a news lady back and forth for over a month and a half. The last quote that kind of blew me off, it's not enough money. That's why I brought that up earlier. It's not enough money. I'm thinking, if I was on the news for making an arrest, that was absolutely nothing to it. So that was enough. But a fucking sheriff who is stealing tax dollars and using it for vacations and fuel to go on personal trips, I don't care if it's a fucking dollar. That dude is held to 1,000 times higher standard as the sheriff than anybody else.
That was the entirety based off of the G.I. Joe Glenowitz case out by us, where we had Charles Joseph Glenowitz, who was a Fox Lake police lieutenant. He was shot and killed by 3 people. That was the narrative for 2 months. And we had manhunt for 3 people for 2 months until the local departments run by my chief exposed that $3,500. They vilified this man. I mean, all the porn sites he visited, all the shit he was doing, the vacations, all this for $3,500 he embezzled from the Explorers programs. It turned out to be a lot more than that behind the scenes, but that's all the media looked at was $3,500. So wait a second, you completely destroyed the legacy of this man who was caught embezzling $3,500. And if it was a patrol officer, oh, he'd be fucking in jail.
Well, here you go. I sent you. You're probably too busy. I sent you that story from Sanford PD, which is about.
I didn't look at it yet, but yes, I
so
saw it.
Sanford PD. What happened is the dude, the detail guy. He's in charge of running the agency details and the overtime gigs. He was creating fake overtime gigs at companies that didn't exist, putting himself on the time card as working in them, and then billing the city for the overtime money in his check.
Yeah, but that happens all the time.
But no, I'm talking, he completely fabricated. I know guys do it. He fabricated the whole process. The company didn't exist. The company wasn't paying for a deputy. He puts himself on a job that doesn't exist, pays himself out, and then bills it through the sheriff's office. So sounds really bad, right? How is that any different than taking a company vehicle that belongs to the county and driving 3 states away for personal use?
The amount of shit that things get, people don't understand happens on a daily basis is amazing. My buddy Ken was a cop with me. He was like my partner in my first department. And I learned more from him than almost anybody else. So the guy was a walking fucking, he was a Rain Man for law enforcement. He was just an incredible cop, all this shit, but he had a big fucking mouth. He would challenge command staff all the time because he was so damn intelligent. He knew the department policies inside and out. He knew the laws inside and out. He knew how to write grants, all this shit.
You and I know somebody like that.
Yeah, well,
Very
yeah,
well.
and they're a troublemaker. Well, what they did, they got Ken, they arrested him on 14 felonies for allegedly using the gas card for his squad on things like fill up a boat and this and that and blah, blah. And he had to plead to it because he couldn't fight the state with the amount of money for the lawyer. But the lieutenant who fucking brought the charges up on him was doing it. One of the other guys we worked with was doing it. It was like past practice. It's just, they know how to fucking get people when they want to get people and when to make a big deal about shit to hide their own crap.
And here, I don't know how it is in every state. Let me explain how it goes. So when I found out what I found out and what I reported on today, I sent the entire complaint to the attorney general. They said, thanks, we don't investigate that. Send it back. Sent it to the governor's office. They said, thanks, we don't investigate that. Send it back. The option I got was the Commission on Ethics, which does accept it, but you have to get a sworn affidavit. It's a process. You have to get a sworn affidavit, go get it notarized, submit it. And then I found out if two guys go do the same exact thing, it has to be 2 separate complaints, and you cannot mention each of them in each complaint. So I had to rewrite them to omit one of the people from the complaints, send it in a 3rd time. That's 3 times through the mail, back and forth. They finally take it, which I'm grateful they take it. And then the other option is send it to the state attorney. Well, our state attorney and the sheriff are best friends. The guy elected and the sheriff worked together on massive cases. I was there. So I'm going to be like somebody sending me a complaint on you. And unless it's very egregious, I'm going to be like, yeah, it's Dom Izzo, like deal with it.
There's no integrity.
Nobody
investigates
there's nothing you can do. There is
No.
nothing you can do.
No, I believe you, because we had when we had our body cameras recording us, I went to the state's attorney, nothing. I went to the sheriff, nothing. I went to the FBI, the local office of the FBI in our department, gave them the information, nothing. Illinois Attorney General, nothing. State Police, nothing. You cannot get any agency to investigate anything. And we were the victims. So we had our body cameras recording us in the bathroom, shitting, pissing. One of our female cops, her pants off, all this crap. And I went, and when we went to go and sue them federally, our attorneys told us, well, you're going to have to come up with the money to have WatchGuard, which was the company, have their stuff investigated so we can do depositions. And I went, so if a woman comes to me and says her daughter was illegally spied on in the Kohl's dressing room, do I go, ma'am, you're going to have to come up with the funds to go sue Kohl's?
Yeah,
It blows me away how cops, internal shit, internal police investigations never get done unless you are under their microscope.
And the double-edged sword of this is California, which has a lot of fucked up stuff, but their cop unions and that lawyer, I know you follow that McNichols out of that law firm out of California, do a lot of video. I don't know if you follow them.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, okay, yes.
Yeah, he's very active, puts out a lot of good content, a lot of good case law for cops, and a lot of good. But so you have this state that's all fucked up, and then you have a great lawyer system to help the cops out there. They actually got involved with me. I was looking into some things, and I found out again right down the line in the state of Florida. I tell this story about what happened to me, and they're all like, "Man, that's fucking nuts." But we can't help you. Sorry, we can't really sue agencies in Florida. It's almost impossible. The juries won't go for it. They don't do it, and it's like, how frustrating or how bad, cops, suicide, all the bad stuff, all the stuff we have to deal with on a regular basis anyway, babies dead, people dying, worst day of their lives, you're meeting them. Now you have to deal with abuse from an agency, corruption, and they basically look at you and go, yeah, man, there's nothing you can do about it. If you get fired and you're like if you get fired and you're completely down on your luck, we might have something if they don't do it properly. Otherwise, sorry. And even the unions down here, it's like, sorry. I put up one episode ago, my sheriff created a policy that absolutely says black and white, if you say anything about him, he can fire you. If you say anything negative about him, he can fire you. That is what they just put out in a policy. And it's like, that's fucking insane. Like, can you imagine that much power?
Free speech. This doesn't exist.
So there is a law in Florida. So I had a guy reach out to Georgia, and he actually sent me the recording where he went in, because Georgia's a one-party state. You can actually record anything you want in Georgia. He walked in. It's a right to work state. So it says if there's not a contract, any person on either side of an employment can terminate the other person at any moment. Sergeant, promoted, corporal, something promoted, 2-3 years, no problems. Walks in. The guy goes, "Hey, man, some people don't like your attitude." He's like, "Yeah, I know. I arrest a lot of people. I do a lot of work. I'm very active." He goes, "Yeah. You're going to be fired in 2 hours. You can quit, or we're going to fire you in an hour." And he's like, "Come again?" He's like, "Yeah, man." And that is literally it for them in Georgia. That's it. It's over. You either quit or you're fired. There's no right to sue. There's no contract. There's nothing you can do. Florida's a little more protective. So I believe it's unconstitutional what he put in, because there's a case law in Florida ruling that says you can't do that. But I have to now go fight the top guy in the county, the guy that's supposed to know all the laws the best, who made an illegal policy, and then spend money, time to go after his illegal policy? Or does my family member get fired? Or does somebody get fired and now they have to do what you did, which is sit out of work 3 years with no income to fight back against what I call tyranny? It's illegal. It's fucking corruption at its highest level.
They've got the two lowest rung people, the public, the Blue Line supporters, and the patrol officers, doing all their dirty work for them. Because as long as if you had the public support the police, but the police said, "Hey, listen, we're coming together because we know how command staff treats us," and they actually took a time to look and go, "Hey, what was Izzo actually fired for?" Oh, blah, blah, blah. They actually went through it. They would know, oh my God, we have that same issue in our department. It's like
explain it one more time. You were fired for exposing illegal recording of your fellow officers.
Of course not. I started a lawsuit because for months they had our body cameras recording us nonstop. WatchGuard body camera has that. It took them 8 months, but they found a department policy to fire me on, which was disseminating, which blows me away. If anybody FOIAs my policy, they'll see I was fired for a text message I sent a friend of mine who we didn't talk for 10 years, and then we just patched things up a couple of months ago. I sent him a couple of text messages of death investigation scenes. And everyone's like, "Oh my God, you got fired for that." I'm like, but wait a second. If anybody actually looks, they will see that the only female in our department filed a sexual harassment complaint against me. And that's it. There was no investigation done about it. There was no follow-up. There was no discipline. And I've always said, well, wait a second, which is a greater offense? Sexually harassing a female cop or texting a friend a fucking a picture?
You would think if they had something to bury you for sexual harassment, they would have.
Yeah. So the point being is they padded that. When they suspended me, they padded my for 3 weeks, they padded my department, my disciplinary file. But the whole thing was that was their thing. So when they said, a lot of guys go, "You got fired." Yeah, because they offered me, we'll fire you, or you can quit and go to the department. No, fire me because I did nothing wrong. Yeah. If people knew how many cops get that same offer, and
all
go
the,
to another department?
all the
It's
time.
like, I'm just the one who said, no, fire me.
Yes,
It happens all the fucking time.
I have hundreds, and I'm not exaggerating, hundreds of guys that have messaged me with that exact story, that left and went somewhere else because they just got pinched. And it's like, you don't want to be that guy. Not everybody's like you and I that doesn't give a fuck. Not most people give a fuck. We're obviously we have some type of mental illness, but not everybody can do that. So they're so scared to have anything exposing them because they're like, oh God, everybody's gonna think bad about it. They don't even stand up for themselves. But I have hundreds of messages, the same thing. I was gonna be fired. They told me to resign. And then what they do anyway, you do that, and then they fucking do the backdoor phone calls
Yep.
when nobody's listening and go,
Yep.
don't hire him, don't hire him, don't hire him, don't hire him. And then they're fucking completely fucked. So I told people, and today would probably be the day. I used to say things about 3 years ago. Guys would come up to me when they started fucking with me. I said, I had no idea I was going to end up here, but I said, one day I'm going to push record and everybody's going to find out. And I think today they found out, they've been finding out, but it takes a lot of soul searching, a lot of, looking yourself in the mirror and being ready to be on the hot seat to do that. But that's what guys need to do. You got to stand up to the fucking administration. And like you said, you can't just complain to us about it. No, we can't change the fucking country.
Nothing.
We can't do any. We can't even make a dent.
No, only active guys can do something about it.
Correct.
That's it.
Correct. Yes, they can do something by. You have to do something about it. And I caught a little rumor today that some of the guys close to the sheriff are going, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. Like, this is getting ugly now. Like, we support him, but it's like, man, now he's got using money and now he's, using a car. Like, how do you explain that? How do you explain?
And that's the stuff you exposed.
Corruption, man.
Imagine all the stuff that you didn't expose.
Oh, I have tons more. And I just layer it. This is the big one. I know for a fact there's other instances, and I got a couple after today. I got a couple very interesting phone calls from people I never even knew watched or paid attention, and everybody's starting to. But I'll be honest with you, I'm nervous. I'm not a scared guy.
Oh no! I sat there for
very nerve-wracking.
2 years. It was 2 years where I was terrified to leave the house because I'm like, even though I lived about 35, 40 minutes from where I worked, I still thought in a different county, I was waiting for Hoffman Estates Police Department to find a reason to pull me over because he poisoned something like that. And I'm like, and I was waiting all the time because you can't tell if your license is suspended or not. I don't have that. I can't call up my buddies and go, hey, run my plate and see if I'm suspended or not. Like, what could he do? Could he do something for the state? So I was waiting all the time.
Let me tell you, I called my wife about this and I got sidetracked and I didn't tell anybody else. I was driving to Orlando Monday, and I'm on the B-line, which takes you from 95 to 417 right to the studio. And I'm behind. I'm thinking the guy in front of me's got a disabled veteran tag. And I'm like, I looked at the car. It was a Tacoma, had a disabled veterans tag, and it had a flag sticker on it. And this is 9 o'clock in the morning. I leave at 8. I get there at 10. Go to the studio, record all day, go eat. I'm driving home. Fucking car's in front of me again. In front of me again on the same fucking highway 6 hours later. And I'm like,
what are the chances?
What are the fucking chances? And I pull up, it's an old guy, vet, beard, but I'm just like, how the fuck did I end up on the same highway in the same place, almost the same mile marker, with the same guy in front of me? And I'm like, what a fucking coincidence. And I'm like,
I do it all the time.
What a coincidence, man. Yeah, I never thought like that. I never thought like that. And we walked into the grocery store tonight, and I'm talking to my wife, and I'm like, I might start fucking wearing a vest under my goddamn hoodie. Like, and she's laughing. I'm like, I'm not fucking kidding. Like, I've been telling you, it's scary.
We've talked about this several times. I have a level of what happens the day I get pulled over and somebody knows it's me. Step out of the car, and I'm like, I know what you're doing. Am I going to willingly, peacefully go into handcuffs?
Yeah, I bought the glasses. I have the recording glasses. I have 2 cell phones on me all the time, and I usually carry one that I can record on the audio. And then if they see my phone in my hand, they take it. There's still one going. I tested that the other day, and it sounds silly. I sound like a conspiracy guy, but nobody really gets what it's like to gone through what we gone through, and then have exposing people, and these people get nasty. And I'll be honest, I'm very honest. I was very lazy about carrying a gun off duty when I was a cop. I was a moron. I do not leave the house without a firearm.
I don't. I because of the state. It's like
you can't.
Illinois,
Well, Florida,
California. I don't do it.
Out west, so
I was denied. I had all the requirements for retired credentials, but there was no way in hell I was going to get that approved because of how bad she is. It's at the sole discretion of the chief, and there's no way how we would
went
approve that.
crazy. Obviously, Florida went crazy, open carry completely. So I wear a hoodie and I carry a cig, and it's in my hoodie pocket if I have gym shorts on and my hands on it at all times when I'm walking through the grocery store, unless I'm grabbing something. And if I have my regular shorts on, it's in my waistband, and I'm very accurate with it. It's got a red dot on it, and I'm always head on a swivel, man. And I never thought I would be more concerned now for talking about corruption in law enforcement than I was putting guys in prison for the rest of their life.
Oh
And
God, the
years.
fucking the bad guys are far more trustworthy than the cops.
I'm telling you, dude. I've gotten message after message after message from guys that like, hey man, you arrested me back in, because they see the podcast now. You arrested me 20 years ago for trafficking. You treated me like a human. You arrested me 10 years ago for this. You treated me like a human, man. I appreciate it. Like, I've had one person, some psychopath fucking nut job that is just bent that I planted cocaine on her. My wife was there. It's all on body camera. It was plain as day. It was in her bra, like 100%. She went on Ian Bick's YouTube. This guy's a crook. He planned. And I was like, why don't we do this? She blocked me, of course. I said, I'll pull up Freedom of Information Act of body cam. We'll watch it together on a live podcast, and you can show everybody when I planted it. And then I got blocked, and I never heard back. So, well,
Yeah.
it's been a productive first show, I think. We've had a pretty good audience. I appreciate everybody. We got one more comment from Steve. You don't have gun rights in freedom of land because self-proclaimed heroes can delete you if you have any weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve's right about a lot of things. But so we will be back on January 7th. This is the new show, new format. I'm going to make Dom wear a sweater every week that's similar to that.
See about that. We can do that.
So any parting words for the guest, Dom?
No, guys, have a Merry Christmas. And
Yep.
fucking,
Have a very Merry
enjoy it.
Christmas. We appreciate your support. We're here for you guys. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. And we'll be back on January 7th with the next episode of Hot Topic with Copville and Dominic Izzo. Thank you, guys.